SOS, serbisyo, ora mismo, sigurado. Programang tatalakay sa kapangyarihan ng serbisyo sibil. SOS, serbisyo, ora mismo, sigurado. Programang hihimay sa kapangyarihan ng pamalang lokal. SOS, serbisyo, ora mismo, sigurado. Programang maglalapit sa pamalan at mamamayan. SOS, serbisyo, ora mismo, sigurado. Kikilos ang barangay para sa bayan, edukasyon, kalusugan, trapiko, basura at iba pa. SOS, serbisyo, ora mismo, sigurado. Tatalakay sa mga problemang napapanahon, problemang hahanapan ng solusyon.
Muli sa magandang hapon mga kaibigan, welcome sa ating SOS, serbisyo ora mismo sigurado. Layunin po natin na maiangat ang kaalaman ng ating mga kababayan sa katwiran at karapatan nationwide and worldwide. Si AJ Austria, ang ating technical director, si Angel Atienza, ang ating production head. Medyo nangangalay ako dahil yayamanin itong gadget na ginagamit natin ngayon dito sa studio mga kaibigan. Ako yung lingkod si Johnny Gomez dito po sa ating SOS sa ating Thursday 2 o'clock habit. Kasama po ang 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝘂𝗊𝗋. Ako, isang magandang dilag ang ating kasama ngayon. Wala po si Ma'am Macaranas pero ang equally beautiful, talented na si 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝘂𝗋𝗆, ang General Manager ng Industrial Personnel and Management Services Incorporated, ang ating mga kasama sa palatuntunan. Ma'am Perla, magandang hapon po sa inyo. Welcome sa ating Thursday 2 o'clock habit.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Isa na namang magandang hapon, Sir Johnny. And good afternoon to the worldwide worldwide viewers and listeners ng SOS. Good afternoon po. I am sitting in behalf of our beautiful Lala Macaranas, who is available but very, very busy on other tasks that she needs to, of course, perform. So, naatasan po tayo today to maghatid ng mga magagandang balita para sa ating mga kababayan na mga nagnanais na pumunta ng ibang bansa. To be very honest po, Sir Johnny, I have to run very quickly and catch up lunch because I was in the interview the whole time in the morning for our opportunity dito sa ating isang malaking client who is based in Qatar.
Ayan, mamaya pag-uusapan po natin. At syempre pa, ang Employee Relations Manager ng 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝘂𝗋, si Ms. Bel Domingo. Makakasama rin natin mamaya, Ma'am Perla. Am I correct?
Yes po, sir. She will be with us towards the end of the program para naman po sa ating mga tips para sa mga aspiring OFW natin, so that before they can even be deployed outside the Philippines, they will be informed and they will always be knowledgeable on what needs to be done or expected out of them being an OFW na nagre-represent ng ating country, of course, outside the Philippines.
Okay, sige, hihingi tayo ng tips mamaya kay Ma'am Bel. Pero gusto ko munang kumuha ng insights mula sa ating Ma'am Perla Patricio. Alam po ninyo, malawak rin yung karanasan ni Ma'am Perla sa pagtatrabaho overseas, no? Isa pong overseas Filipino worker for quite a time, si Ma'am Perla. Ma'am, yung pong nangyayari ngayon na ban sa Kuwait at talaga namang pinag-uusapan ng host country, ng Kuwaiti government at ng ating pamahalaan para ayusin itong indifferences na ito. Una, ano po yung maipapayo ninyo bilang former OFW dun sa ating mga kababayan na nagkaroon na po ng kontrata pero hindi nakaalis because of this ban? Ano po ang pwede ninyong ipayo, Ma'am Perla?
I think based on experience no bilang isang OFW,
Yes.
sometimes of course we have to respect the country rules kung ano yung
Yeah.
kanilang ipinaiiral, but as you said, I think and we seriously hope that this ban is temporary.
Okay.
I think both governments is working on their best effort to ensure that this, short-term ban of the deployment can be lifted as soon as possible. And for those OFW who might have been affected with this ban, wag po kayong mawala ng pag-asa. Wag po kayong mawala ng pag-asa as long as you are already employed and signed a contract with a Kuwaiti employer, of course, to be deployed in Kuwait. I think as soon as the ban is lifted, makakaalis pa rin po kayo kung meron na kayong employment contract, meron na kayong visa, at of course, meron kayong employer. So, there has been a time in the past na nagkaroon din tayo ng temporary ban sa Kuwait, if everyone remembers it. So, naayos din naman po yung naayos din po naman yung mga indifferences. And we are hoping that this time around will be, resolved as well. And I think our government, even our president, Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is actually doing the effort to ensure that they across the table talk between the two governments can be resolved anytime soon. So for FW, I do not think that you have to worry. So medyo mag-intay-intay lang po tayo if it is not now or immediately soon. For sure maayos din po ito, and to be fair, despite of the ban going on, marami pa rin po tayong mga Kuwaiti employers na lumalapit sa atin, displaying interests of them hiring Filipino workers. So that is a demonstration na even if the Kuwaiti employers themselves are reaching out to us for a possible recruitment of Filipino workers, that is a demonstration that this ban will definitely a temporary situation, and it could be resolved anytime soon. So, wag mawala ng pag-asa.
Sorry, Perla, natin dito ay paano kung yung mga kababayan natin gusto nang mag-apply locally muna, no? While waiting for the lifting nitong ban na ito. Ano bang dapat nating sabihin at ipayo sa kanila?
Okay. I think based on personal experience, best that you can do is to coordinate with your agency. If you are being hired by an agency in the Philippines, coordinate with your agency what is the status, because the agency and the employer definitely has got a communication so that we can help you or we can assist you with the right information on what needs to be done while we are waiting for the ban. So best is like makipag-usap kayo, makipag-coordinate kayo para mabigyan din kayo ng update.
Yes. Tama yung sinasabi ni Ma'am Perla, ha? Makipag-usap po tayo para nang sa ganon, properly guided para dun sa ating next move.
Exactly.
Importante po to keep the line of communication always open between yung mga aplikante natin at yung agency para kayo po ay well-informed and well-guided.
Exactly.
Ma'am Perla, ngayon, at good news natin, ha? Ang daming job opportunities na ino-offer ni IPAMS.
Yes.
Saan ka ba magsisimula?
To be very honest, Sir Johnny, I would really like to focus or probably spend a bit of time dito sa mga good news natin, kasi sometimes, probably some of our listeners as just listening, tapos parang medyo hindi nila nakukuha because of the speed of the broadcast, of course. So siguro po medyo I would like to request the listeners or the viewers to please pay attention so that if you are interested also, and if you feel that you are qualified for the position that we are having the opportunity now, you will be able, of course, to to be guided. Now, so to start with, we know it for the fact that if it is aviation industry, everybody would like to join in the aviation industry. So with should I say post pandemic, when the aviation industry opened up, the major carrier of course, of Dubai had started recruiting the cabin service attendants. And to be very honest, this was a very, very quick recruitment and deployment at the same time. It did not even take it did not even take 2 months, and the initial recruit has already been deployed. Okay, so may na-deploy na po tayo, and that is for UAE, covers cabin service assistant. And of course, we were being told here that the requirement of this position would run up to 100 over the period of year. So far we haven't fulfilled that yet. So hopefully, anytime soon, magkakaroon ulit tayo ng announcement to continue so that we can fulfill that 100 heads requirements. Okay? Now, we'll move to the Qatar National Carrier has already also recruited flight attendants during the last 2 events that they have done beginning of this month. So, magkakaroon po tayo ng this is actually 3rd recruitment in the Philippines over the course of probably 5 weeks. And this will be happening in Cebu. This will be probably early July. Okay, so please watch out for the announcement kung kailan ito exactly the date and where it's going to be in Cebu. All right? Next, simultaneously, hundreds of ground staff will be recruited. We are starting the recruitment now, and by early July, especially, we need 40 airline in-flight catering truck operators. So, ang hinahanap po natin ay in-flight catering truck operators. Sila po yung, of course, yung nagmamanage ng mga truck na nilalagyan ng mga pagkain papunta sa flight. 40 po ang kailangan natin dyan. We also need 40 in-flight catering services agents. So, ito po sila yung mga equipment processing agent. So, for sure, for those people who are now...
Meron i-share screen daw. Subukan natin buksan para makita ng ating mga televiewers sa Sky Cable, Channel 224 sa YouTube at Facebook, yung pong anunsyo mula sa iPalms. At by screen grab na po ninyo kasi nakalagay dyan yung mga basic requirement. Alright. Ito na po. Pwede na tayong mag-screen share. Go ahead, Maperla.
Yeah. So if you can see that, so 40 in-flight catering truck operators, 40 in-flight catering services agents, tapos po 40 airline catering services agent, that is team leaders. Okay, 40 po. And then we need 100 of first and second commis chefs. Again, those are the categories that is abundant in the Philippines. Kailangan po natin ng 50 chef de parte. Okay? And we also need sous chef and of course, junior sous chef. Imagine the lives of our kababayan with these numbers that, you know, if they are successful, and of course, this is one of the best employer in Qatar. So anybody that could qualify could not go wrong selecting this employer. All right?
Anong pagkakaiba, Maperla, ng sous chef sa junior sous chef?
Okay, so kung ilalagay po natin sa sous chef, ang sous chef kumbaga siya si manager in terms sa office base kunyari, but ito sa kitchen, so siya si manager, tapos si junior, siya yung mga assistant niya.
Pero sino sa kanila yung tagahiwa ng kamatis?
Chef de parte po, siya yung nag-prepare ng mga lulutuin. Opo. So, kompleto po tayo dyan to ensure na yung after they have prepared, of course, papasok dito yung ating mga in-flight catering services and agents. So, pagkatas nila niluto sa kusina, tayo pa rin mga Pilipino hanggang sa pag-serve doon sa aeroplano po. Okay? And also, so we've done UAE and Qatar. Anytime soon, the Saudi national carrier also may recruit flight attendant. So watch out, watch this space, and definitely we will announce them when the position becomes available and once it is confirmed by our employer. So that is Saudi. Again, sa Saudi pa rin, of course, we know that the largest oil company based in Saudi which is a client of IPAMS for over 40 years, is in search of, from their legal department, they need a public relations specialist or counsel. They need a corporate governance and compliance. This is for paralegal, project and development and finance. And they also need compliance analyst. This is actually a senior and a senior counsel or VAT advisor and tax attorneys. So these are the requirement, a very, very senior position that whoever could qualify really is very, very fortunate to think that this company is the largest oil company in the world.
Okay.
So calling all those specialists from the legal department, if you have not submitted your applications yet, we are pinning this always in our Facebook page that you can submit your application. And then within the same company, the finance department also requires the finance control assurance specialist. We needed accounting analyst. We needed affiliate financial analyst. We needed, what else? Technical accounting advisors, capital program analyst, financial reporting and consolidation specialist, and tax compliance reporting analyst. Within the project department naman, we need materials advisor. In the corporate maintenance department, we needed reliability engineers and business systems analysts. Just to share with you a few insights about this company and how much IPAMS have deployed to them over the course of 40 years. In fact, we have deployed more than 13,000 overseas Filipino workers who works long-term in that company. Many have served really long period between 20 to 30 years or until retirement. And based on our records, the retirees who served the company for the longest term are the most settled OFW at present under retirement age. So the competitive pay plus tax-free and various benefits really provided our skilled workers and professionals who are on merit status. They are also provided some education to their children.
That's right.
So I think I really would like to stress that this is such a very good opportunity for those professionals mentioned in the what are the requirements, because once you are employed by this organization, you are guaranteed. Of course, this is performance-based pa rin tayo, but whoever works, should I say, work according to what is expected, there is a long-term employment security in this company. So, napakaganda, plus the fact na we are giving an opportunity to our professionals as well, not just to the skilled workers, but these are highly professional individuals that the company is requiring. So again, this platform, the advertisement of these vacancies is not just published in our Facebook page, but it also published in our LinkedIn, whereby most of the professional uses LinkedIn probably over Facebook. So we are there as well. The instructions on how to apply is already given. So please make your application on the way. As the initial batch of the applicants that we have forwarded, they actually have done the screening, and there are already few selection that had been made by the company. So it's a really good news. And also, as this is a Saudi opportunity, we do not need to wait for the longest period of time for the visa. This is very quick. So the deployment also is very mabilis. Again, still in Saudi, Sir Johnny, we had been working. I mean, my team has been working hard to get the DMW accreditation of one of the largest sports or fitness company. Which is headquartered in Saudi Arabia, but in operation across the GCC country. So again, once our accreditation is up and running, mag-advertise po tayo dito ng mga position which is mostly for the gym. So of course, nandun yung mga trainers, andun yung mga...
Pwede ako dyan.
Pwede.
Dati akong bodybuilder eh. Oo.
Pwede po. Anybody. And then even a swimming instructor, may kailangan din sila. So not just in the gym, kailangan din po ang mga screening instructor. So again, still within the GCC, we had been repeatedly announcing this, that in Abu Dhabi, where we are the service agent of one of the largest theme park, including the Ferrari World and the Sea World, continuously recruiting pa rin po ito for the personnel in the theme park. In fact, I think over the weekend po, nagkaroon tayo ng virtual interview for some position. So, open po, this is an open position, and probably anytime soon, our employer will announce another recruitment event. So, watch out. O, ito pala, hanggang June 15 ang application, but it's okay. You can still apply because we are pulling candidates so that anytime our employer would require, meron po tayong mga ready candidates. So, yung light and sounds technician or show technology ang tawag nila doon, natapos po tayo ng final interview nung June 19. But for those who are late, who may not able to make it, please submit your application. We are continuously reviewing them so that we are ready anytime the employer asks for the profiles. Okay?
All right.
So,
dun sa ating mga kababayan na nanonood, magpala po kayo ng mga komento dito sa ating live broadcast, at baka meron kayong mga tanong nais na i-clarify sa ating General Manager ng IPAMS, Ms. 𝗦𝗲𝗂𝗂𝗆, kaget po niyang matutugunan. Dahil ang dami nang nagtatanong, Ma'am Perla, actually pumasok ako sa official Facebook page ng IPAMS. At karamihan dun sa mga tinatanong ng ating mga kababayan, how to apply. O ito, tama-tama. Ibigyan muna tayo ng idea ni Ma'am Perla sa ating 4 ways and more. Ma'am Perla, sige nga. Go ahead, please.
4 ways and more. Of course, ang unang-una na dyan, we are accepting walk-in applicants dito po sa office natin. This is Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. para mag-submit ng application. So basically, if I may relate to the Qatar requirement, in fact, ang open day po namin started last Monday, and this will be continuously happening hanggang Sabado po. Hindi po natin, for this week, hindi po tayo nag-accept ng application ng walk-in at Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but we have opened them since Monday. Okay? Ang next po, of course, please visit the IPAMS page, which is www.ipams.com, and apply using the job seekers page. Kapag nandun po kayo sa landing page ng aming website, click nyo lang po yung job seekers, i-drop down na po sa inyo on how you go about with the application online. The third is, of course, you can always download the mobile application, which is free and available via Apple Store and, of course, Google Play. All right? And then the fourth, napakaraming mga email addresses. You can email your CV and initial requirements. Depende po kung ano yung industry na inyong maibigang applyan. So if it is for Canada, it's simple. It's canadajobs@ipams.com. Doon naman po sa food and beverages natin would be fnb@ipams.com. And US po natin sa mga nurses, usrn@ipams.com. I may just want to reiterate that the US nurses requirement never stop. So continuous po yan. Even the UKRN for the UK nurses, it's a continuous recruitment. So apply lang po kayo, and even for the walk-in, ang nurses po pag nag-walk-in sa atin, any time of the day within office hours and any day, they are welcome.
Okay.
Sa other healthcare naman po, mayroon tayong healthcare at ipams.com. Dito naman sa ating mga manufacturing, usually this is for Hungary and of course Canada as well. MFG at ipams.com. And for the opportunities for New Zealand is nza at ipams.com. And of course, we have other countries. You can always email at resumes at ipams.com. But before I forget nga pala, gusto ko lang isingit dito sa manufacturing, which is mayroon tayong requirement ngayon para sa UK. Okay, bagong-bago po itong kliyente na to na mga nagre-require sila ng welders. So, you can always email your CV dito sa mfg at ipams.com. So, iyan na po. Andyan na ang screen. Nakikita na ba natin?
Oo.
Yan, welder fabricator po ng Scott Engineering. This is for UK. Can you imagine ang mga welders ng Filipino pupunta na ng UK? And with the help of IPAMS, hopefully we can find the best suitable welders na makakwalify dito sa ating employer. And of course, the candidate of this particular role must be willing to take the IELTS exam. Kasi po ang IELTS ay kailangan so that we can apply for the visa.
Okay. Yung ibang job opportunities, Ma'am Perla, ibibigay natin pamaya-maya. Isingit lang muna natin itong dalawang tanong bago tayo mag-short break.
Yes,
Galing
sir.
kay Recelo Lastrilla. Interesado daw po siyang mag-apply sa IPAMS, Ma'am Perla, bilang isang civil construction worker. Isa daw po siyang karpintero, may local at overseas experience, currently working in Saudi Arabia bilang isang karpintero. Yun daw pong kanyang kontrata will be finished by August of this year at gusto niya raw po mag-apply. Meron bang pagkakataon na magkaroon daw po siya makapagpasa ng kanyang advanced CV for consideration, Ma'am Perla?
To be very honest, this is we have this vacancy for civil works specialist company. Pakibalik mo, ayan. So, mayroon tayong kailangan ng mga carpenters dyan. Kailang application natin dyan ay nagtapos na nung June 16. However, it does not necessarily mean na nagtapos na yung ating application, nagtapos na rin yung opportunity. Doon sa nagtatanong, you can always send your CV sa canadajobs at ipams.com. Please make sure lang doon sa subject ng email nyo, lagyan mo doon ay carpenter or woodworker para pagka naghanap po yung mga recruiters natin, madali po mahanap yung inyong profile.
Alright. Ito pa, yung isang tanong. Teka, mag-break na pala muna tayo, ha? Sandaling-sandali, si Jose Rizal may tanong, pero mamaya yan sa pagbabalik ng ating Thursday, 2 o'clock habit with IPAMS. In just a very short while.
𝗢𝗲 with host Sunny Ilustre digs into current events and human interests. All viewers and listeners are invited to take part in the discussion. All opinions are welcome and respected. 𝗢𝗲 is open to assist those experiencing injustice. The motto of the show is, if God is with us, who is against us? Seen every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. on Radio Bandido TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, digital free-to-air channel 29, facebook.com/DZRJ 810 AM, or on YouTube, channel DZRJ 810 AM, Radio Bandido.
Nagbabalik mga kaibigan ng ating SOS, ang ating Thursday 2 o'clock habit with IPAMS. Kasama pa rin natin ang General Manager na si Ma'am Perla Patricio. Akalain mo si Jose Rizal may tanong sa atin, Ma'am Perla. Ang sinasabi niya, baka kapangalan. Nag-celebrate ng birthday si Jose Rizal noong 19, June 19.
Oo naman.
Sige, ito muna yung tanong ni Jose Rizal. Interesado daw po siyang mag-apply sa IPAMS. Meron siyang 6 years na work experience sa civil works construction, airport, and highway. Ang tanong niya, meron daw po bang opportunity para sa kanya, Ma'am Perla?
Ano po ba ang work niya ngayon? Is he currently employed?
Ayun lang. Oo, wala siyang binanggit eh. Oo.
Oo. But you know what? Ang question, if your question is pwede po ba mag-apply? Of course, everybody is welcome mag-apply. Pwedeng-pwede po. As long as meron po tayong vacancy at as long as your qualification fits on what the employers require, pwede po.
Okay.
So, you may have to go back doon sa 4 ways to apply kanina para po kayo makapag-submit ng CV. But let me remind once again all the applicants that when you apply, please make a little bit of introduction in your email, not just attach your email and that's it. We would not know what are you applying for. So it is important that you mention in the subject of your email kung ano po yung position na ina-applyan ninyo at anong industry. It will be very easy for our recruiter to filter them when we needed a particular position. Okay?
Si King Bulanon, factory worker sa Hungary. Meron daw po bang opportunity, Ma'am Perla?
Okay. We have been recruiting factory, kaya nga tayo may mfg at ipams.com na email address because we have an employer, we have current employer in Hungary that are recruiting. And later on, when we get to Belgium, we are also requiring construction and manufacturing personnel. And the accreditation of this employer is underway. So meaning, whoever is interested to apply, pwede po kayo mag-apply so that ready po yung inyong mga CV. So this is for Belgium, not just Hungary. Again, Belgium is of course in Europe. Meron din tayong opportunity sa mga manufacturing company.
Ayan, napakarami nating opportunity through IPAMS. Pamaya-maya, bahagi po ng good news ng IPAMS na ibinibigay sa atin ni Ma'am Perla, ito pong mga opportunities abroad at kung saan po kayo pwede mag-apply. Ito muna galing kay Glenn Reyes. Ma'am, may hiring po ba kayo ng gypsum board installer? Ano bang ibig sabihin yan? Ex-abroad po ako 5 years bilang gypsum board installer.
Okay, so sa mga ceiling works na, mga gypsum board na ceiling.
Okay, yung pala yan.
Napatingin tuloy ako dito sa amin, gypsum ng aming ceiling. Okay, so at this point in time po, wala po tayong opportunity ng ganyan. However, meron po tayong kliyente sa New Zealand which is mostly their works are ceiling work. So who knows, one of these days magkakaroon tayo ng ganyan. Ang so far natin na installer na kailangan na hindi natin mapunan pa rin kasi medyo may numbers of requirement. Yun pa rin po ang carpet installer kasi roll carpet po kasi we understand that it's not very much in demand in the Philippines, pero sa abroad po marami. So yun po muna ang kailangan natin. Wala pa po tayong gypsum installer.
Sige. Ma'am, ang tanong ni Randy Lapitan, scaffolder, erector, almost 9 years po ang kanyang experience daw at isang passport holder.
Scaffolder?
Siguro ito, scaffolding, erector.
Baka po scaffolding. Again, wala pa rin po tayo na scaffolding. Wala pa rin po tayo. But then, please follow the Facebook page of IPAM so that you will be updated kung ano po yung, in case magkaroon po tayo ng ganyang vacancies.
Okay. Merong nagtatanong kanina, interesado daw po siyang mag-apply dito sa IPAMS. Pero siya'y taga Cavite. Ang tanong niya, Ma'am Perla, paano po ako pupunta ng IPAMS at gusto kong personal na mag-apply? Ayan.
Okay. So if you're coming from
Cavite.
If you're coming from Cavite, madali lang po tayong hanapin. If you're from Cavite, kung bababa kayo ng Cubao, sakay lang po kayo ng jeep. Tapos sabihin nyo kay Kuya Driver, ibaba kayo sa IPAMS, harapan ng IPAMS mismo. At ang pinaka-landmark, big landmarks po natin dito is Robinson's Magnolia. Pagbaba niyo po,
Yes.
ayun, ando na si iPams. Pag galing naman kayo sa bandang Santa Mesa side, the same po, yun lang tatawid kayo, pero in front of where the jeepney stops, makikita niyo na po ang iPams building.
Ayan.
Oh,
Ito,
pero po
tanong dyan.
Sir Johnny, yung si Kuyang taga Cavite, bago po kayo bumayahe, tingnan niyo po muna yung page natin para sigurado na may vacancy tayo sa pupuntahan niyo. Sayang po
Tama
yung
yan.
oras at pamasahe.
Correct, correct. Ay, nabanggit mo yung Facebook page.
Opo.
Meron kasi nagamit sa iPams, Ma'am Perla eh. Paano nila malalaman kung ano yung official at legit na iPams Facebook page?
Okay, so isa lang po ang titingnan, yung paniwalaan lang po ng mga viewers and listeners and applying populace, you just have to rely on the iPams page that has got 1.3 million followers. If it is any other iPams in Facebook which does not have 1.3 million followers, mga ano po yun,
Okay.
mga scammers. So, doon lang po kayo. Doon lang po, 1.3 million assured.
Napaka-simple, no? Sabi ni Ma'am Perla, ha? Hanapin po ninyo yung bilang ng followers. Doon magkakatalo. Okay. sabi ni John Michael Theopis, Ma'am Perla, wala pa pong update regarding sa application ko bilang excavator operator.
Excavator operator, nag-apply po ba kayo? And have you been
Nag-apply
contacted?
siguro. Oo.
Okay.
Wala
Kasi,
daw update. Walang update.
nakausap na ba po ba kayo? Okay. I'm asking a follow-up question. I hope that he is listening. So, if you had been contacted, kasi may excavator tayong kailangan, di po ba? We are having excavator opening. So, kung hindi pa kayo nakakausap ng recruiter natin, there must be a possibility na hindi pa kayo na-screen. Please, mag-email po kayo uli, tapos ilagay nyo doon sa subject na excavator operator kayo or something like that para po makita natin because towards the end of the month, we have our big Canadian client coming for final interview sa mga role po na ganyan.
Alright. Meron tayong kababayan kaso hindi ko mabasa yung pangalan, Japanese character. Ang sabi niya, 5 years daw yung kanyang work experience bilang isang construction worker dito sa Pilipinas. Ang naging trabaho niya, rough and finishing carpenter, masonry, painter, pipe fitter, and roofing ceiling installer. Nasa Japan daw po siya ngayon, Ma'am Perla, formworks and forklift operator ang kanyang trabaho. Meron daw po ba siyang pagkakataon na makapag-apply ng iPams?
Yes, meron kang pagkakataon mag-apply.
Okay.
I think for roof installers, this is for New Zealand. Meron po tayong opportunity niyan for New Zealand. So, info@ipams.com po. Mag-send po kayo ng CV.
Ayun, dala kayong resume.
Oo, ng resume. Re-reviewin po yan ng mga recruiters natin. If we find your CV to be qualified, definitely ano po kayo, masisendan kayo ng invite either for Zoom interview or Skype interview. Again, depends on the how suitable your profile is, would be to the qualification of the employers that, of the job that the employers require.
Ito, tanong galing kay Jeanelyn Landero Consular. Hello daw po, Ma'am Perla. Available po ba ang food server or cashier bound to Canada? My previous job was in Dubai for 2 years bilang isang waitress at cashier. Ang current job niya ay isang F&B service sa Shangri-La, Boracay. Ang tanong niya, meron daw po bang available na opportunity sa Canada for her?
May not in Canada but in Qatar, where I mentioned earlier yung kailangan natin yung mga catering service agents.
Okay.
Para sa largest carrier ng Qatar.
Alright. Napakarami pang mga nagtatanong. Sandali po lamang ha. Para bigyan daan muna natin. Biski dito sa atin. Ako, ang dami na Ma'am Perla na nagtatanong mula sa ating mga kababayan. Pagpasensyahan po ninyo kami kung hindi kagad nababasa. Kasi live comments po ito. kung minsan po ay napapatungan ng mga bago. Pipilitin po namin na lahat ay maipaalam, maitanong. Raymart Cuarto, ma'am, papansin daw po dun sa tanong namin. Ito na nga yung sinasabi ko, ha? Lahat po yan ay pagbibigyan. Sandaling-sandali po lamang. Hiring po ba para sa caregiver? Willing po kaming mag-apply. Galing po kami sa public hospital na mayroong 200 bed capacity. Ma'am Perla.
Caregivers, wala pa po tayong opportunity ng mga caregivers at point time. Pero po, nurses meron. But then, we do not close the possibility that, anytime soon, ay makakahanap tayo ng employers for that matter. In fact, IPAMS is very, very fortunate that despite we do not have a marketing arm. We do not have a specific marketing department, but we are being approached by employers, by foreign employers. So we can, of course, as the employer approach us, we have the opportunity to negotiate the best for our Filipino workers. So how do I say, in relation to that caregiver position, we are negotiating, consistently negotiating with different employers. But as I said, we only appoint, we only partner with employers that we know that can give the best opportunity for our Filipino workers, and of course, employer that can look at the best welfare of our people. So ang natin diyan, ang premise natin is hindi tayo naghahanap ng employer, instead ang employer naghahanap sa atin so that makakahanap tayo ng mga the best employers in the world na hopefully yung mga industry na nag-inquire sa atin katulad ng caregiver, hopefully in the future we will be able to find a good employer, and then of course that is an opportunity that we can provide to our applying populace.
Okay, pati po ninyo bisitahin yung website ng IPAMS para makita po ninyo yung mga job opportunities. Si June Estrada gusto daw pong mag-apply bilang lifeguard. Saan po daw siya pwedeng magpadala ng kanyang resume, Ma'am Perla?
Pwede po tayo doon. Okay. Pwede po kayo magpadala sa resumes at ipams.com. Lagay niyo po ang subject is lifeguard.
Okay. Doon sa generic, no? Generic na email.
Resume at ipams.com po. Yeah.
Alright. Galing kay John Cha Lazaro. Hello daw po sa inyo, Ma'am Perla. Sa fine dining food server po, for walk-in application lang ba? O merong email address na pwede kaming magpadala?
Sa
fine dining food server lang.
This is this is an requirement that we needed to see the person in person. Okay. So mas appropriate po na pumunta po kayo in person. Yan po si Fine Dining Service Associate. Pwede po kayo mag-send ng you can come personally dito sa office po at i-screen po kayo if you have the complete requirement, i-screen po kayo kaagad-agad. And in relation to that, bago ko lang po makalimutan, marami na po kaming na-interview ng the same position dito sa Fine Dining Associate natin. Please, kung kayo po ay nag-apply na dito, please listen to the announcement. Kung sa lahat ng applicants na nagpasa na po at na-qualify, all the applicants that have applied and must have qualified on the basic qualification of the employer, please wait po kayo ng email or call from IPAMS if you are qualified. Okay. Okay. So,
tama, Ma'am Perla, kasi ang tanong ni Aldrin Jason Fernandez, nagpadala po ako ng aking CV last week, hoping to receive a feedback soon. Ano ba yung turnaround time, ma'am? pagka isang qualified candidate ang nagpadala ng CV at merong job opportunity, ano po yung kanilang nakikitang timeline?
Okay. So, again, uulitin ko. Sa lahat ng applicants na nag-submit ng CV and you are qualified based on the initial qualification ng employer, you will receive an email or call. If you do not receive an email or call in the next 7 working days, that means that your profile did not match with the qualification of what the employer's requirement. Malinaw po. So, successful candidates who must have submitted or must have presented themselves here in the office, if you are successful, you will receive an email or a call. If you have not heard anything from IPAMS within the next 7 working days, that means that your application has been unsuccessful.
All right. For the time being, di ba?
Yes. For this particular opportunity.
Yeah.
There could be more
Kung
opportunity.
kayo nadadala, apply lang ng apply, pasasaan pa kayo matatanggap, ha? Si Rodelito Casiano, interesado raw pong mag-apply bilang steel fixer or landscaper. Meron ba tayong opportunity, Ma'am Perla?
Yung landscaper po natin, medyo napakakonti ang kailangan. Parang 4 lang po yata yon ang pinadala natin yun sa Austria. I think Austria. So maigsi lang, 4 lang po ang kailangan ng employer natin. But who knows, in the future, there will be more.
Yung steel fixer.
Steel fixer?
Fixer.
Opo. Wala pa po tayong opportunity ng steel fixer for the time being.
Si James Akag Smaw, welder po, Ma'am Perla, tinatanong.
Smaw, okay. Kung ikaw ay Smaw welder now, upgrade yourself para marunong ka din mag-FCAW, marunong ka mag-MIG, marunong ka mag-TIG, para po ma-upgrade yung inyong qualification because SMAW is the very basic of welding process. And usually po ang hinahanap ng mga employers natin are a specialized welding process, which is yun nga po yung mga FCAW, TIG, MIG, and the rest. And usually po, kailangan yan sa Canada. Si galing kay Myla Garma, may age limit po ba sa fine dining? Meron daw siyang 6 years experience sa Abu Dhabi, UAE, Ma'am Perla. Age, may age requirement
age limit
po ba?
May age limit.
Okay. Ang age requirement po natin, as this is a service industry, usually po ay, of course, it's gonna be vague to say, but we're looking for young and energetic, and of course, the age should not be nearing retirement. Yun po. So, again, you may qualify initially, but then we do not want to give you a false hope because at the end of the day, it's the employer's final decision.
Itong sabi ni si Chipol, ang daming hiring sa IPAMS. Naiiyak na siya, Ma'am Perla. Gustong mag-apply sana daw. Meron kayong tanggapan sa Zamboanga City. Paano nga naman yung mga kababayan natin gustong mag-apply sa IPAMS pero outside Metro Manila, Ma'am Perla?
Okay, so punta na lang po kayo sa nearest internet cafe, mag-online po kayo sa email para may attach po ninyo yung inyong CV. Yun po, you do not need to be on the fly. At mayroon lang po pala akong announcement, Sir Johnny, baka to yung mga iba na, baka po yung mga iba na nagtatanong.
Yung mahiwagang puting papel?
Opo, mahiwagang puting papel. Baka po
galing kay Boss Lito yan.
Opo. Baka po kasi yung mga iba magtampo na hindi sila nasagot. Pero meron po tayong announcement dito na may sumasagot din po doon sa chat natin. Yung mga hindi po nababasa sa ere. Pasensya na po, sisikapin po natin sagutin lahat yan. Pero po yung mga iba nasasagot na rin po natin doon sa live chat mismo. Meron po tayong keyboard warrior ngayon na sumasagot.
Meron tayong IPAMS team na sumasagot, ha?
Opo, meron. So, meron po
Alright.
tayong makukuhang sagot dyan.
Ano ba ito? Tinatanong ni... Oh, Ma'am Perla, hindi ko ito maintindihan. Liluch, Britannia, saan daw makakakuha ng POES certificate? Ano bang ibig sabihin niyan?
POES certificate. Kailangan po.
POES pala ito.
Yan po yung
Okay.
seminar, certificate po yan na kailangan. Mag-ano po kayo, login po kayo sa DMW website, Department of Migrant Workers website. Doon po yun makukuha ang POES certificate. It's kind of a short seminar na kailangan yung sagutan doon. Then at the end, makakapag-print po kayo ng inyong certificate. So, free po yan, free. Wala po yung bayad sa DMW website po.
Alright. Sandali, yung iba. Ito. Loading assistant po at in-flight catering agent.
Yes.
Pareho lang daw po ba yung position yan?
Yes.
Tanong ni John Michael Villanueva.
Okay.
Same.
That is the requirement na kailangan po namin. I think sa Sabado magpapa-open day kami, special sa mga posisyon na yan.
Okay. Pero pareho daw ba yan, Perla? Pareho lang?
Yes, yes po. Kasama po sila yan sa mga loading operators po.
Okay. Galing kay Vicente Carpin, cleaner. Ma'am Perla, baka meron daw.
Ano, cleaner?
Cleaner, oo.
Okay. Hindi po, wala po tayong vacancy as in cleaner yung magmamap, magwawalis. Wala po tayong ganyan. However, every now and then, nagkakaroon po tayo ng industrial cleaners.
All right. Sistine Ned Etnam, conventional machinist, 18 years of experience. May bakante daw po ba para sa kanya?
Okay, so for now, wala po tayong mga CNC na kailangan, but then this is a position that comes up every now and then. So watch out na lang po, baka magkaroon tayo anytime soon. Okay.
Tanong ni George Salangsang, may age limit po ba ang skilled worker, Ma'am Perla?
Highly skilled worker, wala po tayong age limit. To be very honest, nag-recruit nga kami dati, sabi ng employer, kahit 60 pa yan, basta kayang umakyat sa poste, tatanggapin nila eh. So sa skill po, usually wala po tayo.
Wala. Galing kay Jing Sinag Nagrit, hingi daw po ng email address. Ay, kanina, babalikan na lang natin mamaya doon sa 4 ways and more, Jing. Sabi ni JJL Pampilo, soft service supervisor, baka may hiring daw po, Ma'am Perla.
Anong supervisor po?
Soft service?
Self-service?
Soft service. Ano ibig sabihin yan? Oo.
Okay. Ang hiring
hindi naman siguro self-service ito.
Okay.
Ano?
Ang hiring po natin na service supervisor usually po is fast food service supervisor. Yan naman po ang position na yan is consistently hiring po tayo dyan. Sometimes it's a volume recruitment, sometimes it's a small recruitment. But that is the profile that we are continuously pulling so that it is readily available once the employer asks for it.
Okay. Galing kay Randy Villamar, delivery driver. Ma'am Perla, may opportunity daw po ba?
Delivery driver for now po. Wala
delivery
po tayong,
driver.
Wala po tayong driver na opening unless sometimes mga heavy equipment drivers, but we just fulfill this requirement some time ago.
Alright. Galing kay Sibal RJ, plating technician, Ma'am Perla.
Ano raw? Which technician?
Plating.
Printing? Wala po tayong printing technician at the moment. Pero
plating, plating.
Plating? Wala pa po tayong opening niyan.
Ano ba ito? Ramp service agent. Baka daw may opening. Rampa.
Rampa po.
Service agent. Galing kay Ken.
Ang kailangan po natin sa ramp ngayon, yun po sa mga catering.
Okay.
Yun po.
Or sige. Pamaya-maya. Sige. Alright. Yung iba binabasa ko, no? Binabasa ko para magkaroon tayo ng idea. Babalikan natin. Meron lang tayong back-to-back reports, ha? Tapos break tayo sandali. Pagkatapos niyan, yung tips na manggagaling kay 9.09er ay
Okay.
ipapakita natin dito sa ating palatuntunan. Magbabalik kami mga kaibigan, pero narito po muna ang back-to-back reports mula sa ating kabandido. Standby lang Jojo Sikat. Unahin ko si Roel Tarayaw. Roel, magandang hapon. Please come in.
Nalambat ng mga otoridad ang 5 drug suspect kabilang ang isang senior citizen na magkakasabwat umanong nagbenta ng shabu sa undercover police at sa lakay ng pulisya kagabi ang isang hinihinalang drug den na nalansag sa sitio Santa Maria, Barangay New San Jose, Dinalupihan, Bataan. Sa ulat ni Dinalupihan Municipal Police Station Chief of Police Lieutenant Colonel Joel Aparejado kay Bataan Police Director Colonel Palmer Tria, nakilala ang mga nadakip na suspect na sina Emmanuel Francia Gato, 69 anyos, binata at may-ari ng sinalakay na drug den, Daniel Bautista Anastasio, 32 anyos, Janor Sambat, 19, Erickson Sarmiento, 31 at Ana Clarice Gigante, 27 anyos, na pawang residente ng Dinalupihan, Bataan. Sinailalim ng mga otoridad sa surveillance ang mga suspect hinggil sa umano'y illegal na gawain ng mga ito at ang lugar o bahay na ginawang drug den ng mga suspect. Kapansin-pansin din ang karatulang inilagay ng lolong suspect sa harap ng kanyang bahay, pero hindi nakaligtas ang mga suspect matapos magpositibo sa surveillance, kaya agad ikinasa ang bypass operation ng magkasanib na puwersa ng Bataan Police Drug Enforcement Unit at Dinalupihan Police Station. Nasamsam sa mga suspect ang 5 pakete ng suspected shabu na may street value na mahigit sa 60,000 pesos, weighing scale, drug paraphernalia at mark money na ginamit sa bypass. Nakaharap na ang mga suspect sa paglabag sa ilalim ng Republic Act 9165 o Comprehensive Dangerous Drug Law. Ulat mula sa lalawigan ng Bataan, Central Luzon Super Region. Ako si Roel Tarayaw para sa DZRJ 810 AM, ang Radyo Bandido TV.
Salamat po ng maigit marami si Roel Tarayaw, mga kaibigan. Tumako naman tayo sa Senado. Naroon ang ating kabandidong si Jojo Sikat. Magandang hapon, Joe. Please come in.
Pinayuhan ng publiko ni Senadora Loren Legarda na isa rin dating veteranong mamahayag na iwasan ang paglihis sa mga impormasyon na maaaring makasira at makasakit sa kapwa. Ito yung naging reaksyon ng Senadora sa tanong ng mga mamahayag kung narapat namang maging batas ang freedom of information dahil sa pagkalat ng mga fake news sa social media. Ipinunto pa ni Legarda na noong panahon ng siya isa pang mamahayag at producers na nagsimula siya noong 1978 kung saan napakahigpit bago ilabas ang isang balita. Aniya kailangan ng kumpirmahin hindi lamang sa isang resources kundi sa 3 hanggang 4 kung totoo ang nakalap na impormasyon at magsagawa rin ng pagsisiyasat. Bukod dito, sasalang pa aniya sa mga masusing proseso para lamang sa 30 minuto o 1 oras sa produksyon. Iginit ni Legarda ng maling impormasyon na sinasadya ay hindi katanggap-tanggap at ang maling impormasyon dahil may pagkukulang sa pagsisiyasat ay hindi rin tama. Aniya maaaring misleading ang tao sa maling impormasyon na maaaring mauwi ito sa pagkasira at makasakit sa kapwa na hindi katanggap-tanggap sa isang civilized society. Ako, si Jojo Sikat, nag-uulat para sa DZRJ 3AM, ang Radyo Bandido TV.
Salamat po ng maigi at marami si Jojo Sikat, mga kaibigan mula sa Senado. Magbabalik ang ating Thursday, 2 o'clock Habit with iPalms, makalipas ang ilang paalala.
If you like listening to our stations, DZRJ 810 AM and RJFM 100.3, there's no excuse not to listen anywhere and wherever you want. Listen on your phone or computer anytime, anywhere in the world. Just download the app for free. How do you download? If you have an Android phone or tablet, go to Google Play Store. If you have an iPhone or iPad, go to Apple App Store. It's that simple. We have 3 streaming sites. Just type in TuneIn Radio or Radio Garden or Streema. That's STREEMA. Once the app is downloaded, type in and search for DZRJ. And now you can choose and enjoy DZRJ 810 AM and RJFM 100.3 anytime and anywhere. Hey, it's free.
Magandang araw po. At Mindanao, ako si Jude at your service. Samahan niyo po ako sa mga kwentuhang lokala, turismo, at usapang serbisyo ng buhay at kabuhayan, kalusugan at kalikasan, kultura, sining at kasaysayan dito sa Bayan ni Juan. Sa bayang mapapakinggan at mapapanood sa DZRJ 810 AM, ang Radyo Bandido sa Metro Manila. DZRJ Radyo Bandido TV, available sa Sky Cable Channel 224 at sa mga digital box ng GMA Afford Box, ABS-CBN TV Plus Box, Sulit TV Box ng TV5, live sa Facebook, www.facebook.com/DZRJ810AM at DZRJ810AM Radyo Bandido sa YouTube channel tuwing araw ng linggo, alas 3 hanggang alas 4 ng hapon dito sa Bayan ni Juan.
Contra Birada is back on Radio Bandido TV, simulcast on DZRJ 810 AM. Hosted by former spokesperson and chief legal counsel of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Attorney Salvador Sal Panelo. Watch and listen as he talks about the latest news topics and events. Monday to Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Sky Cable Channel 224, all DTT boxes, Facebook.com/DZRJ810AM, and YouTube channel DZRJ810AM Radio Bandido.
Be enlightened with inspiring stories. Interesting biblical features. And insightful interviews with the pillars of our Catholic faith. Power to Unite with Elvira.
Pagputok ng umaga, mga kagaganap na balita, iraratrat na! Kasabay sa inyong almusal, mga impormasyong ilalatag na Radyo Bandido Balita sa telebisyon, radyo at online media. Mga isyong pambayan, malalaman nyo na. Radyo Bandido Balita, Radyo Bandido Balita. Kasama sina Felix Tambongko at Jimmy Mahusay at ang mga veteranong tagapag-ulat ng himpilan. Radyo Bandido Balita! Radyo Bandido Balita!
UGM, Ugnayang Gobyerno at Mamamayan, ang programang humuhugot sa mga isyung may kinalaman sa pang-araw-araw nating buhay at tumatalakay sa halo-halong usapin na may kabuluhan sa ating lahat at may pake sa bawat isang mamamayan. Ginagawa ang pagtatalakay sa istilong umpukan at masayang kwentuhan. Bukod sa mga balita ni Mastermind Raul Bertodazo, hinihimay din ng UGM kung bakit mahalaga sa atin ang mga desisyon ng gobyerno at kung ano ang magiging epekto nito sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay. Nagbibigay impormasyon din kung ano-ano at aling-aling ahensya ang pwedeng tumulong at tumugon sa problema ng mga mamamayan. Nagbibigay din ng kaalaman ang UGM sa mga bagay na may kinlaman sa pagmamay-ari ng lupa upang magkaroon ng kalasag ang mga iligal na pinapaalis, dinedemolis at inaagawan ng lupa ng mga land grabbers. Kaya wag tantanan ang UGM, Ugnayang Gobyerno at Mamamayan, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, tumutok sa Radio Bandido TV para informed ka. Watch Monday to Friday
On Radio Bandido TV,
Channel 224 Sky Cable, free-to-air Channel 29, TV Plus boxes, DZRJ 810 AM, Facebook/DZRJ 810 AM, and on YouTube channel
DZRJ 8:10 AM, Radio Bandido.
SOS, serbisyo, ora mismo, sigurado. Programang tatalakay sa kapangyarihan ng serbisyo sibil. SOS, serbisyo, ora mismo, sigurado. Programang hihimay sa kapangyarihan ng pamalang lokal. SOS, serbisyo, ora mismo, sigurado. Programang maglalapit sa pamalan at mamamayan. SOS, serbisyo, ora mismo, sigurado. Kikilos ang barangay para sa bayan, edukasyon, kalusugan, trapiko, basura at iba pa. SOS, serbisyo, ora mismo, sigurado. Tatalakay sa mga problemang napapanahon, problemang hahanapan ng solusyon.
Muli isang magandang hapon mga kaibigan. Welcome sa ikalawang oras ng ating Thursday 2 o'clock Habit with 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝗂𝗋𝗆 dito po sa SOS Serbisyo Ora Mismo Sigurado. Doon po sa mga naghihintay ng tutorial patungkol sa IELTS, ito po, napakaganda nitong tatalakayin ni Ervin Neil Temporal at ni Brian Sioson mula po sa 9.09er IELTS Review and Tutorial Center. Panoorin po natin mga kaibigan.
Welcome back to DZRJ Radio Bandido, Thursday, 2 p.m., 2 o'clock habit in partnership with 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝗂𝗋𝗆. We are 9.09er Review Center. I'm Ervin Temporal, and with me is Brian Martin Sioson. 2 months ago, we were invited to provide our listeners and viewers tips on how you can probably improve your English proficiency level for so many reasons. For personal growth, for career enhancement, and if you want to go overseas, you are required to pass these English examinations as part of your visa application. We want to emphasize, though, that we're done with speaking tips, writing tips. That's why for this episode, we are going to focus on listening tips and reading tips. So Sir Brian later is going to give you some tips for active listening. How can you possibly deal with customers, patients, clients in such a way that you sound helpful? And in my case, I'm going to share with you tips on how to improve your reading abilities. We'll be including speed reading, we'll be including comprehension, and how these can help you to grow as a person and apply them to your working environment. But before we go to that particular part of this episode, first we'd like to give you an idea who we are, what do we do as a review center, and in the first place, why do you need to pass these English examinations? That's why you've been noticing we've been speaking in English from the very beginning, because in these English examinations, you're going to speak in English from beginning to end. So, Sir Brian, tell us more about this 16-year-old review center known as 9.09er.
9.09er is right now the largest test preparation center in the Philippines for English exams, including the IELTS, OET, PTE, CELBIP, and TOEFL. If you're taking any of these English exams, why not entrust your future and your test preparation for these exams with 9.09er IELTS Review and Tutorial Center. We have top caliber lecturers and coaches who have gotten and aced who have taken and aced their English exams. In fact, most of our lecturers have gotten 9.0, which is the perfect mark in the IELTS in at least one component of the test. And Sir Ervin and I are actually some of those people who got the highest potential grade that you can get in the IELTS. For example, in my case, I got 9 in almost all, or literally all of the components of the IELTS and the PT, and Sir Ervin here got also a 9 in almost all of the components components of the test. So with 9.09er, you are in good hands in your IELTS, OET, PTE, CELBIP, and TOEFL preparation.
Thank you for that, Coach Brian. By the way, let me take this golden opportunity to announce that we are hiring. So if you are an English teacher, all you have to do is to send us to send your resume to my personal email that's 𝗢𝗿.temporal@yahoo.com. That's ERVIN.temporal, TEMPORAL @yahoo.com. But why? That's because we have 27 operational branches and we have 15 more branches opening soon. So if you think you are an English teacher with these qualifications and face-to-face learning is for you, then please send your resume to my email. However, don't think that we are just a review center offering face-to-face learning. That's because we also have online courses, and we're so happy that we are carrying the Philippine flag as we have online reviewees from more than 130 countries worldwide. So we are done with what we do as a center. But in the first place, who are our clients? Who are the people who come to us? They are the ones who have plans of going to US, UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Perhaps at least once in your lives, you have thought of the idea. Isn't it interesting or exciting to go to these countries? But Sir Brian, who are the people going to these countries that need to pass English examinations? Is it just the nurses or basically anyone and everyone for that matter?
Everyone can apply to go abroad. Maybe one application process is not the perfect one for you, but there will be an application process that is perfect for you. So most of the candidates who go and take these English exams are healthcare professionals like nurses, medical technologists, radiologic technologists, doctors, and many other healthcare professionals, but skilled trade workers like line workers, pipe fitters, welders, butchers, food service workers, and many other positions are also in great demand overseas. But say, for example, you do not belong to the skilled trades, or maybe you are not a healthcare professional, but you still want to go abroad, you can go and study in those countries and be able to secure a job as well in the process. So as long as you have determination and the willpower and also a goal set on landing in an overseas country that speaks English, you just need to prepare for your English examination, and there will be an application process that will fit you right.
Thank you for that, Coach Brian. So now we move on to the main topic. I'm going to talk about how to improve your reading skills. And Sir Brian later is going to share with you tips on how to improve your listening skills. Now I'll begin with reading. I have noticed that the people of today, especially the younger generation, the millennials, are consuming so much media. Well, not necessarily television, not necessarily radio, but more of social media. In fact, I've noticed that the young generation today have more time on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's totally negative if you're going to expose yourselves to these social media applications, as we are also on social media. It's just that sometimes there are skills in life that are better when you apply for a job or when you go overseas, and these are the skills that we need you to practice as early as now. If your average screen time per day is like 14 hours on YouTube or TikTok, we might want to allocate that time by doing something productive. Say, for instance, reading newspapers. Now you're going to tell me, but you know what? YouTube and TikTok, they're totally free of charge. But for newspapers, we have to pay. Well, the mere fact that you were able to watch videos on YouTube or videos on TikTok, this also means that you have access to the internet. So in this day and age, all you have to do is go to search engines and use the search bar. Say for instance, locally, we have reputable broadsheets with online versions of their journals. Say for instance, there's the Philippine Daily Inquirer, there's Philippine Star, there is Manila Bulletin. We can name as many national broadsheets as we can. But instead of just reading the news portion, because I feel that some of you are sick and tired of negativity. So instead of reading the front page, you might want to consider the opinion pages or the editorials. Why? For several reasons. Number one, build your vocabulary. Because we are not gods, we are humans. So when you read the editorials, definitely there are words you will never understand. That's when we need you to consult the dictionary, check the meaning of this word. So the next time around, perhaps you can use these words as part of your conversation or in a report that you're going to submit to your teacher, or maybe a document that you have to submit to your employer or your supervisor. But I'd like to recommend, though, my 3 favorite writers because they are my inspiration when I was still studying in college. And if you have time, please look for the outputs of number 1, Conrado de Quiros, number 2, Isagani Cruz, and number 3, Manuel Quezon III. Please, you don't have to be convinced by their political ideologies, but what's most important, how they use words in a sentence and their choice of words. Well, you might want to say, oh, but that academic stuff is just so boring. It's just that in the workplace, most of the time, we need to have these skills if we want to rise up the corporate ladder. At the end of the day, you can't be a vlogger for the rest of your life, or you can't be an online seller forever, right? But there's always the academe, there's always the corporate world, which is the which offers long-term benefits. So for my part, instead of consuming too much social media, then I would rather find time to read these helpful articles, and there's always the search bar or Google to help you out in looking for them. What about listening, Sir Brian? What do we have for our listeners and viewers?
Well, what I need to emphasize is that listening is important in communication because communication is a two-way process. We can't just talk and talk and talk without understanding the person that we are talking to or communicating with. So I believe that more than just talking or saying what you want to say, it is equally important that you're listening to the concerns of the person that you're communicating with through the process of active listening. Show that you are very interested in what that person is talking about by probably giving some cues such as and let the person talk, and don't disrespect that person by cutting that person off so many times during the conversation. Let that person vent out all of his frustration or concerns, and from there you can actually use that as a leverage for you to give the proper responses. Moreover, you should give the person a chance to be able to say his piece first before you give a response, because sometimes that's the reason for miscommunication. If you don't let that person finish what he has to say, there's a tendency that you just get half of the message. So let that person talk as much as he or she wants to, and then try to give the proper response to address the problem. Sometimes conversations get really long, and the reason for that is that you are sometimes just giving the person that you're talking to very little chance to really expound what he has to say. Also, people nowadays are very impatient, so don't try to give very rehearsed phrases. So when you give information, do not make it too long. Try to listen to the problem and get to the root of the problem right away instead of asking so many questions. Try to settle the problem in the fastest possible way so that you don't get complaints and the conversation doesn't get any longer. At the end of the day, you don't want to be frustrated, upset, and drained because you're talking to a person and that person can't understand you. And in the same fashion that person wants a resolution for his or her problem right away. So you want to make sure that everything is settled in the shortest possible time.
So, granting that you're able to apply whatever we have taught you, from listening to reading, writing, and speaking. Now, let me take this opportunity to tell you that if you have plans of going overseas, US, UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, then that's when you need to take the IELTS, or the International English Language Testing System. Fortunately, 9.09er is both a review center and testing center for the IELTS. If ever you do not want to choose us as your review provider because you're thinking, oh, I don't need to prepare for these examinations because I've been speaking in English since birth, then good for you. But you still have to go through us because we are an official testing center in Manila, Makati, Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, and soon Cagayan de Oro. So for IELTS on paper, we are the preferred testing center in Manila and Cavite and also Laguna. But for IELTS on computer, all of those venues we've mentioned earlier, we have a computer lab where you can take the examination. Now, I'd like to remind you that after you pass the examination, you can use one result for up to 5 countries. So for now, if you are undecided, I'm not really sure, should I go to US, UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand? Nothing to worry, because with one IELTS certificate, you can apply in as many as 5 countries. So if you have questions, perhaps Sir Brian can share with you our website, our email ad, or our social media accounts in order for us to personally address whatever concerns you might have related to English exams, going abroad, or the IELTS as an examination in general. Sir Brian, where can they reach us?
Everyone's on Facebook now, so if you want, you can go to www.facebook.com/9.09er official. This is our official Facebook page. You can also search for Niner on Facebook, 9.09er, and the one with the highest number of followers, we have over 200,000 followers now, is the correct page. You can also email us at training@nineronlinereview.com or visit our website. It's shop.nineronlinereview.com. We are also available on App Store and the Play Store. Just look for 9.09er IELTS OET PTE.
Once again, we'd like to thank Sir Johnny and Miss Lala of IPAMS. Thank you once again, DZRJ Radio Bandido for always inviting 9.09er. So guys, we'll see you next week for more tips on how you can improve your English. Once again, this is Coach Irvin and Coach Brian of 9.09er. Bye!
Bye.
Alright, salamat po ng marami. 9.09er IELTS Review and Training Center celebrating 16 years of excellence. Nagbabalik kami ng ating kaibigan mula sa IPAMS, ang kanilang General Manager, si 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝘂𝗍𝗶. Pamaya-maya yung mga magagandang balita pa rin at mga job opportunities ay ibabalik natin at papasadahan muli ni Ma'am Perla. Ito muna yung tanong ni TJ Tabanam. Ma'am Perla, kailan po ulit magbubukas ang opening para sa sales executive or foreign currency exchange job po? Ang kanyang dating trabaho nasa sales sa isang 4-star hotel. Ma'am Perla.
4-star hotel. Okay, so sales. If in sales, I would like to mention one of our major clients who is employing about 13,000 Filipinos at the moment in the food and beverage industry, retail and merchandising, fashion, along within the MENA region, will hopefully commence recruitment shortly. So, pag sinabi po nating MENA, ang opportunity po nito is across, of course, UAE, Qatar, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and Kuwait. So, the company, which is Al-Shaya Group, which is holding the most number of international chains of brands in F&B and fashion and retail, hopefully will be opening. So in fact, they do not even close the the vacancy. Every now and then meron tayong vacancy. Just yesterday, meron po tayong na-offera na isang restaurant manager to be deployed in Kuwait. So once they major recruitment campaign is announced, na lang po, watch out na lang dyan sa Facebook natin so that you will be updated.
Alright, sandali lang ha, doon sa mga job openings. Pero balikan natin, si Ma'am Bel, pamaya-maya makakasama natin, no? Balikan muna natin, Ma'am Perla, ang ating 4 ways and more. Marami nagtatanong kung paano daw po mag-apply sa IPAMS. Narito po, ihahatid ng ating Ma'am Perla Patricio. Go ahead, Ma'am.
Okay, so while I am mentioning kung paano po kayo mag-apply, please get your cell phone ready at mag-screen grab na po kayo. So first, again, walk in. Pwede po kayong personal na pumunta dito sa office natin between 8:30 to 2:30, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Pwede din po kayong pumunta sa website ng IPAMS, which is www.ipams.com, and apply using the job seekers page. And the third, pwede din po tayong mag-download ng mobile application, which is free via Apple or Google Play. And of course, once you have the app downloaded, pwede na po kayong mag-apply. Okay? And fourth is, of course, dyan po sa napakarami nating mga email addresses na kailangang padalhanin ng mga CV ninyo depending on which country you would be interested to apply in. So for Canada, it's canadajobs.ipams.com. And food and beverages, fnb@ipams.com. Para po sa mga US nurses natin, usrn@ipams.com. At sa UK naman po, ukrn@ipams.com. And other healthcare po, healthcare@ipams.com. Now, gusto ko lang po maisingit, huwag kayong mawawala, isingit ko lang bago ko makalimutan. In relation po sa healthcare worker, everybody knows that the Johns Hopkins Aramco Healthcare, we are constantly recruiting nurses in there. And on top of the nurses po, this is a good news for senior secretaries. Nangangailangan po kami ng 6 to 8 senior secretaries para po sa Johns Hopkins Aramco Healthcare. So if you are watching the TV, we have the advertisement flash on the screen. Ang deadline po ng application natin nito is June 27. So senior secretaries...
Meron na kagad nagtatanong, ang kanyang qualification at trabaho daw ay isang executive assistant mula sa isang CEO office. Pagka siya nag-apply, magkano daw po ba yung sweldo ng senior secretary?
Okay. So, in as much as we would like to disclose the salary, but this information will definitely be disclosed during the interview with the employer. But given that this hospital is one of the biggest in the kingdom, this is having a very, very good, or should I say, lucrative salary on offer.
Yeah, sige, apply na kayo.
Okay? So, yun po, naisingit ko lang po yan bago natin makalimutan because sayang po yung opportunity. And then, of course, apart from those different email listings, syempre, hindi po natin makalimutan banggitin. Meron po tayong isang malaking box dyan sa harapan ng IPAMS which is open to drop off ng mga CV ninyo if you are unable to attend the open day. You can always drop off your CV, and of course, our recruiters are screening them regularly to ensure na hindi po nasasayang yung mga papel na dinadrop nyo dyan. Chine-check po natin yan.
Alright.
Okay? So yun po.
Ma'am Perla, meron tayong mga nanonood from Iloilo, mula sa Cebu, at sila daw po ay interesadong mag-apply. Kaya kanina binanggit ni Ma'am Perla Patricio yung pong mga email addresses na pwede po ninyong pagpadalhan ng inyong mga CV depending on your qualifications.
Yes. So sa mga viewers natin sa Iloilo, maayong hapon sa inyong tanan. And hopefully, anytime soon, mabalik kami dira sa Iloilo for another campaign. Inaayos lang natin mga logistics, but anytime soon po, we will be back in Iloilo for recruiting, especially nurses, and of course, other categories that would fit dyan sa mga kasimanwa ko da nga taga Iloilo.
Alright, sandali. Magbe-break muna muli kami dito sa Palatuntunan, pero babalik ka agad ang ating Thursday, 2 o'clock habit with 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝘂𝗊𝗋 in just a very short while.
See you in a while.
Serbisyo publiko ba ang hanap mo? Programang tutulong at aalalay sa iyo. Tuwing linggo, Carmen Ignacio, Mark Anthony Ignacio, Miss Teresita Amansek, Malasaki Kapwa. 2 oras ng aksyon, ng tulong, ng puso. Malasaki Kapwa. 1:00 hanggang 3:00 ng hapon. Malasaki Kapwa. Mapapanood at mapakikinggan sa DZRJ 8:10 AM sa Radyo Bandido TV, TV Plus Boxes, Sky Cable Channel 224, Digital Free-to-Air Channel 29, Facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 AM at sa YouTube channel
DZRJ 8:10 AM, Radio Bandido.
Malasakit Kapwa. Aksyon, tulong, puso, Malasakit Kapwa.
Litrato Philippines, hosted by Mike Francisco, showcases a variety of wonderful, uplifting beauty queens from all over the world. Philippine tourism, culture, and lifestyle, and issues being faced in our country. Catch them Monday to Friday, except Tuesdays, on Radio Bandido TV, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus Boxes, Digital Free-to-Air Channel 29, Facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 AM, and YouTube channel DZRJ 8:10 AM, Radio Bandido.
Balik tayo sa ating SOS mga kaibigan. Last stretch na ng ating Thursday 2 o'clock habit with 𝗦𝗶𝗂𝗋. Daritong muli yung pong mga job opportunities na pwede po ninyong applyan. Ma'am Perla, ano ba yung mga good news pa natin dyan?
Welcome back to the last stretch, and we make sure na pupunuin talaga natin to. We will not waste time kasi last na to for today. Okay? So, I think I've mentioned the Belgium opportunities kanina para sa ating construction and manufacturing. Yes. And of course, the New Zealand opportunities nandiyan pa rin po yan. They are still requiring skilled workers. Eventually, anytime soon, we will start to develop the category in the power distribution and transmission line. So, ang mga skilled linemen natin dyan ang kailangan. And this is not just for New Zealand, but this is also for Canada. So, watch out po. And then, of course, speaking of Canada, especially in Quebec, which is the largest province in Canada, there is a huge demand for skilled workers. All right. I think this must have been mentioned earlier in our previous programs, but I would like to mention it again, that they have over 1 million openings for expatriates, workers consisting of different nationals. Of course, if ROFW will continuously work in the province and displace the competence to the employers, most probably pina-prioritize ang hiring ng Filipino workers natin. And of course, they will not be just considered as temporary workers. There will be an opportunity for them also to become a permanent resident. Okay, so actually the demand of Filipino workers in Canada, where the employers are entitled to increase the requirements from 10 to 20%. This will run until December 2024. So marami pa po tayong time. For Canada market, 𝗦𝗶𝗂𝗋, we have started deploying since 2008. And a majority really have progressed. Minsan, nagugulat na lang kami, we are deployed by 𝗦𝗶𝗂𝗋s and we are already Canadian citizens. That's beautiful. That's very beautiful. And, you know, 𝗦𝗶𝗂𝗋s being part of that journey sa ating mga kababayan, napakagandang pakinggan. Now, of course, Canada is still a very, very attractive market. Ang only setback natin doon during mid-December to mid-March is syempre napakalamig talaga. But of course, pagka nandoon ka na ng medyo matagal-tagal, makaka-adjust ka rin.
Masasanay ka rin.
Just like in the Middle East, pag nasanay ka na sa 52 degrees, wala na, kayang-kaya na.
Pagkadating mo nga rito, naghahanap ka pa ng jacket kahit summer.
Correct. That's right. So, in relation to that, deployment sa Canada, especially in Quebec, where we are developing big projects at the moment, ang maganda pa doon is upon arrival ng Filipino workers natin, they have to undergo French training. And in itong French training na ito is of course being financed by our employers. Or pagkadating nila, or while they are on process pa lang dito sa Pilipinas, and if they are required to attend the online classes for the average of 3 months until deployment. Ang isa pa sa pinakamaganda doon, if the employer really would like them to, learn French in, should I say, yung mabilisang pag-aaral, and if they're required to resign para mag-focus sa pag-aaral, they are given an allowance in Canadian dollars, which is about 7,400 pesos a week. That is allowance for you to learn French, and that's a good amount of like 29,500 in a month. So that is an additional perks na binibigay doon sa ating mga candidates pagka na-select na sila, which is all fully paid by the employer. Yeah. Now, in terms of job opportunities, in fact, I think I mentioned earlier, next week, towards the last week, beginning of July, nandito po yun ng isa nating pinakamalaking employer sa Canada na magko-conduct po ng final interview. I think there will be various hiring opportunities for this employer. And yung excavator kanina, 'di ba, may nagtatanong. So kung hindi ka pa natatawagan, I suggest na you may want to resend your CV, having excavator as your CV para po ma-screen natin 'yan kung qualified po kayo. All right? So hindi po natin kino-close itong mga vacancies na ito. If you may want to refresh yourself kung ano yung mga kailangan, nandun po yan lahat sa FB page natin nakapost. So pwede nyo pong balikan para po if you feel that you are qualified for that particular position, pwede pa rin po kayong mag-apply. And of course, we don't stop hiring, as in we do not stop hiring. It might not be hundreds of requirements, but at least 5, 10 or a little bit more. Tuloy-tuloy po ang recruitment natin for Canada. And again,
pero isingit ko yung tanong ni PJ Jordan Jr., auto and diesel mechanic, kung meron daw po opportunity para sa kanya.
Auto and diesel mechanic? At the moment po, mga heavy equipment po ang kailangan natin. Mga truck mechanics po. Truck mechanics po ang kailangan natin, and these are included for the final interview next week.
Ayun, okay. Ito pa, sandali, farm packer and cleaner. Tanong ni Gaga Kalyaga.
Wala po tayong mga ganyang vacancy po. Na-mention na natin kanina, industrial cleaner po ang meron tayong kailangan. But for now, wala pa po tayong vacancy din ng industrial cleaners po.
Ito yung tanong ni Pam Philo. Open daw po ba ang IPAM's office kapag Sabado, Ma'am Perla?
This coming Saturday po, open po tayo because we have a open day, but in a normal operation po, Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Si Randy Villamar, carpenter, baka daw may opportunity sa abroad, Ma'am Perla.
Carpenter, we used to have, but for now po, wala po tayong vacancy ng carpenter.
Okay, electrician, galing kay Rads Borbonga.
Electrician, marami po tayong klase. Anong klaseng pagka-electrician? Alin po? Automotive electrician ba yan? Building electrician? So,
mag-email ka pero dapat dun sa iyong subject talagang nakalagay kung ano yung gusto mong applyan.
Opo, para madali po siyang i-search. Kunyari, automobile electrician. So, madali po siyang mahanap.
Okay. Sige. Sandali. Ano ba ito? The job will expire on June 25, 2023 for Canada. Sabi ni Sibal RJ. Ano bang ibig sabihin nito? Meron daw job opportunity na mag-expire ng June 25?
Ang mga job announcement po natin sa ating website, mayroon po yan lahat expiry date kung hanggang kailan lang po tayo magtatanggap ng application. However, again, to ensure na yung CV nyo ay nakapasok, pwede naman po kayong mag-send. But please bear in mind that within 3 months po na hindi kayo natawagan, we do not keep your records beyond 3 months. So if you feel that you have applied 3 months, over 3 months, pwede po kayo mag-reapply ulit.
Ayan. Baka meron ka pang mga opportunities dyan, Ma'am Perla, na hindi pa natin natatouch bago tayo magpunta kay Ma'am Bel Domingo?
We were able to announce po lahat ng vacancies natin. So, maliban pa po dyan, every now and then naman po meron tayong bago. Meron lang po kaming gustong i-correct. Nag-announce po tayo kanina just in time yung ating opportunity sa UK po na welder fabricator. Just in time that we announced, nakatanggap po tayo ng advice sa ating employer that this is on hold for the time being. So, it's not canceled, it's just on hold po.
Okay, sige. Antabayanan po ninyo yung iba pang anunsyo, no? Bisitahin po ninyong parati ang Facebook page ng 𝗦𝗶𝗂𝗊𝗂 para tayo po ay properly guided and educated dun po sa mga susunod na announcement. Alright, Ma'am Perla, ikaw na magpakilala dun sa ating magandang bisita. Ha?
Listeners and viewers, allow me to introduce our Employee Relations Manager. Siya po itong katauhan ng 𝗦𝗶𝗂𝗊𝗂 na magbibigay sa atin ng tips sa mga ating existing at saka paparating pa lang na magiging OFW. Please welcome Miss Bel Domingo.
Hi, good afternoon.
Bel, how are you?
I am fine. Marami lang nagdaratingan na concerns, pero that's part of life, that's part of ER.
Yan, oo. Si Ma'am Bel Domingo, ang Employee Relations Manager ng 𝗦𝗶𝗂𝗊𝗂. Siya po yung tumatanggap ng mga katanungan mostly mula sa ating mga empleyado at yung mga napaalis. Isama mo na yung mga bisis na naiwan dito sa Pinas.
Oo nga eh. Kaya nga mga extra pa eh.
Oo.
Ume-entra sa eksena.
Okay. Sige. Ano pa pag-uusapan natin ngayon, Ma'am Bel?
Yeah. Beware of submitting fake documents and false declarations. Again, beware of submitting fake documents and false declarations. Kasi meron kaming mga na-encounter na mga sad cases, unfortunate cases ng ganito. Okay, so first incident or first scenario. Okay, recently we heard of a case of candidate who submitted a valid passport. So kasama ng documents niya for Canada is a valid passport that's until 2028. However, when he landed at the Narita airport in Japan for his first stopover, he was held for hours and was not allowed eventually to fly onward to Vancouver. So, syempre, medyo natulala itong candidate, pero just the same, he answered. Kaya lang, he was deported back to Manila. Kasi meron tanong sa immigration tungkol sa passports niya. Mukhang mali ang sagot niya. So it was found out later through the Interpol system that the passport he was holding has been reported stolen. But there is another passport in his possession which he applied for in the year 2021.
Okay.
So may valid passport. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, Ma'am Bel, unang tanong. Meron ba siyang binali na sistema when it comes to passport application? Meron bang na-violate? Dahil ang sabi mo kanina, meron siyang reported na lost, pero meron siyang hawak na passport. So, meron bang naging violation somewhere?
Yes, probably pwedeng lost ngayon, pero bakit nasa possession niya?
Aha.
So, yes, hawak niya. Pero in 2021, nag-renew ulit siya. Now, this is his admission. It was only later he admitted he reported the previous passport as stolen way back 2021. He secured a new passport, but he kept it and did not declare such. Nung na-scrutinize siya, he was in Kuwait many years ago, so nagamit niya yung passport. Kaya lang mukhang ang missing link doon, nag-aalangan siyang sabihin kung meron siyang problema sa Kuwait, so that para ma-erase ang records niya of his travel to Kuwait, dineclare niyang lost yon, tapos he renewed the passport, pero ang ginagamit niya ngayon is still that same passport dahil nakita niya mukhang pwede niyang gamitin.
Doon siya nagkamali.
Yeah.
Dahil kung ang ginamit niyang passport is the renewed at hinayaan niya na, itinabi niya na yung sabi niyang lost passport na nasa kanyang possession, wala sana siyang problema, Ma'am Bel.
Wala nga, di ba? Mga puntong na
mapapaganon tayo.
Kalma lang. Kalma lang. Kami man, nung kaharap namin yung tao, gusto namin, gusto namin torturein. No? Mga pwede namang,
marami tayong mga experiences at wrong decisions in lives na ito yung nagbubumirang sa pamilya natin kapag meron tayong mga maling desisyon. At dito nagdurugo yung puso ni Ma'am Bel Domingo, ni Ma'am 𝗦𝗶𝗂𝗂𝗆, ni Johnny Gomez, lalo na ng ating boss Lito, dahil ang gusto talaga ng IPAMS makatulong. Bakit ganito yung ginagawa ng ating kababayan?
Kaya nga. Alam mo ba nung time na yon, he said nasa Narita Airport siya, ayaw siyang pakawalan, sinusundan siya ng immigration assistance doon because hindi pwede siyang umalis hanggat hindi na-verify talaga ang records niya. When he got back to the Philippines, nung ma-deport siya immediately, dito, cancel na, kinonfiscate yung hawak niya ng passport, and then in-advise sa kanya, go back to the DFA, ipa-cancel mo yan. Yung isang tinatago niya. Now, we appealed for reconsideration sa employer, but it is a big no for the employer and also to IPAMS kasi nag-breach of trust siya sa amin pati dun sa employer.
Hindi lang red flag ito no? Hindi lang siya basta red flag.
Yeah. Double red, maroon pa.
Pero, Bel, sa kabila ng mga problemang create ng ating kababayan, meron pa rin bang future sa kanya pagdating sa overseas employment?
Probably it's very little yung chances. We don't know, no? Kasi nakita sa Interpol na meron siyang record na ganon. This means declared passport yun. Kaya misinformation and all na miss. No? So, dapat hindi niya ginawa yon. Dapat na lang.
Tsaka Sir Johnny, the mere fact na yung pangalan niya naka-Interpol, meaning
may record.
Makakalusot sa Pilipinas, but there are chances that where the immigration system of other country is more sophisticated, makikita pa rin po siya.
Actually, yan yung gusto kong itanong. Kasi baka ang iniisip ng mga kababayan natin, kay IPAMS ako nag-submit ng aking dokumento, dapat binusisi ni IPAMS. Along the way, hindi natin mapipigilan yung iisipin ng ating mga kababayan na baka merong na-miss si IPAMS when it comes to the documentary process. Anong magiging sagot ni IPAMS dyan, Ma'am Perla?
Okay. So, basically, in terms of requirements na pinasa niya sa atin, they are all valid documents. Because the passport is still valid, and the travel documents that has been provided to him, the very reason kung bakit po siya nabigyan ng Canadian visa. Ibig sabihin, the mere fact na pumasya siya sa Canadian Immigration for issuing the visa, that represents na lahat ng dokumentong ipinasa natin ay legit documents. Because the passport itself is legit. What happens is like, nagkamali siya na he had declared that as lost, at the same time hindi naman pala lost. Doon ang naging problema, but in the eyes of the law, yung passport na yun dapat is considered void. So hindi ni IPAMS malalaman na void yun kasi because it's may validity pa po. So yun po ang
natin, yung mga documents ay isinasabit ng IPAMS sa employer, kaya ang employer ang may last say kung siya ba ay papasa o hindi. Nagkataon, meron tayong immigration. Hindi ba?
Sa immigration po ng Canada, which is the one of the most strictest amongst na pinapadalhan natin, pumasa po simply because they are all legit documents. Yun who would know na dineclare pala niyang lost yun dahil hindi po siya nag-disclose sa atin. If yun po ang naging doon.
Pero ex-abroad ba ito, Ma'am Bell?
Ex-abroad siya. Oo. Di ba kaya nga
Kaya nakakalungkot yung mga ex-abroad natin, merong mga ginagawang hindi magaganda.
Oo.
Akala nila parating makakalusot.
Yes, makakalusot, no? Now, I have another scenario naman, no? Submission of a fake marriage contract in the Middle East. Okay, syempre, we know too well it's absolutely illegal for any unmarried or single woman to be pregnant while residing in that country. There was this couple who went to Middle East as OFWs, both unmarried.
Yes.
Later on, they decided to live in the same house, and as expected, the lady worker got pregnant, so they decided to get married in civil rights in the country. Hindi sila umuwi ng Philippines. A month after, the couple was summoned by police authorities. They wondered why, but it felt it has something to do with the maternity status of the wife. The moment they stepped in at the criminal investigation unit, they were no longer allowed to leave and were detained thereafter. According to the report, they submitted a fake marriage certificate in a hospital, which is a critical violation in other countries. So, nakita dahil before the marriage and after the marriage, magkaiba ang details ng marriage contract. After some 25 days of detention, the couple was deported. We surely understand that they want to settle down. Siyempre, maganda naman yung mag-settle down sila and start a family, but they would have been more careful of the rules in the Middle East country. Okay, here are moral lessons. Number 1, never submit spurious documents. Never declare false statements. Number 2, know the laws of the country where you are situated. You have to ask others, inquire, if possible, with the residents of the country for anything that involves a significant act before you do it. Katulad nga nung magpakasal, is it the right time? Or dapat umuwi muna kami and so on. It may be acceptable in the Philippines. Dito, kinakasal ng buntis naman, no? Pero hindi nakukulong. Kaya lang, but not in other countries, especially the Middle East. And then violations in other countries are serious enough that once committed could bring you extreme distress and zero chances to work abroad again. So yung deportation nila has brought them to a problem.
Pero nakita no?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Bakit experience sa mga applicants natin na nagki-claim na single when in fact na married pala? Pero bang mga ganyan?
Meron din na ganon. Depende sa, let's say, meron silang, ang document nila sa passport naman, no? Is maiden name, okay lang yon. Basta you have already the marriage contract dahil nauna si passport tapos si marriage contract ganon. Pero yung being single, it is necessary na na-check din no ang senomar nila from time to time dahil baka mamaya nga nagde-declare sila. However, let's say sa Canada, di ba, pwede ang what's this, single sila, they declare na meron silang partner.
De facto.
Yeah. So
it's in the Middle East that is really, really strict in terms of the legal civil status. But the rest of the country, it's not that strict, pero kailangan ma-prove pa rin.
Baka kasi ang iniisip nila yung implication pagdating sa pagpapadala ng pera. I-declare ko na lang na single ako para lahat ng sweldo hawak ko. I mean, coming from yung mga kababayan natin na ganyan mag-isip, nakakalusot ba, Ma'am Bel, Ma'am Perla, yung mga ganyan?
Yes, from the recruitment.
Siguro, I really do not think that it's about sending the money back. Kasi kahit dyan sa mga insurance na inaanuhan nila, kailangan dependents dyan eh. So kapag nilagay na doon ang dependents, malalaman na.
Ayun.
Opo. So,
talagang so many ways to skin a cat.
Mayroon talaga.
Diba?
Mayroon talaga. So,
alright, sige.
I think the message is kailangan lang talaga silang maging maingat at sumunod kung ano yung nire-require sa kanila.
So kaya yung think before you act. So minsan parang hindi agad naiisip ang repercussions ng gagawin. At any rate, meron kaming tips lang, procedures that can help, no? Just in case talaga magka-problema sa work site na ganitong mga klaseng problems, no? Number 1 is report the incident to the employer, to the HR in particular. Ask for possible assistance and guidance in terms of company policies or laws of the country. So pwede namang mag-inquire sa kanilang HR para maklaro sa umpisa pa lang yung gagawin whatever decision. Number 2 is report to the Philippine Embassy in the country where you are in or to the Philippine Overseas Labor Office, that's POLO, as they are counterpart of the DMW. So kung talagang nandun na yung problema, so pwede namang magpunta sa Philippine Embassy. Now, number 3, get in touch with IPAMS if still possible. Unfortunately, once detained, the phones are disconnected or confiscated. Kahit yung family, nung malaman namin from the family, then the time na sinabi namin, please get in touch with them, hindi na makontak yung couple. So by the time, nakadetain na sila. And we can still help. We would extend help like right to the different offices like OWA. We have of course the DMW to report the status, the case, no, and then we have to be part of really monitoring and taking action, no. If ever the employer would say that they are about to be reported, then we report immediately to the family. So sinasabi namin yan. And then family can report to the Department of Foreign Affairs Office of the Undersecretary for Migrant Workers Affairs, which can gather report from the Philippine Embassy. So kahit na nag-ulit-ulit ng reports, minsan lang matagal, no? It's really what the family has to be patient about. Hindi madaling kumuha ng reports ng updates mula sa Philippine Embassy, lalo kung ang kaso ay mabigat at talagang matagal ang investigations.
Alam po ninyo mga kaibigan, ito yung masarap sa ating Thursday 2 o'clock kwentuhan with IPAMS. Kompletos regados, may job opportunity na, meron pa tayong tip at meron pa pong ipinuprovide na after recruitment service ang ating IPAMS. Pero pasensya na, wala na po tayong oras, magpapaalam muna kami. Ma'am Perla, Ma'am Bel, the floor is yours. Go ahead, Ma'ams.
Alright, pick upin ko lang dun sa last word na sinabi niyo, Sir Johnny. Meron tayong after deployment service kasi IPAMS is not a warm body exporter. So we make sure that we look after our deployment kahit na nandoon na sila sa country of the job site. We are here to, give them support in case they require. Okay? And I may have mentioned erroneous country kanina, Sir Johnny. Gusto ko lang i-correct na yung ni-recruit po namin for Al-Shaya, na restaurant manager, that was for Saudi po. Na-recruit siya kahapon, it's for Saudi and not for Kuwait. Just to make sure lang po, baka malito si mga listeners. Now, once again, thank you very much, viewers, listener, SOS, maraming salamat po for giving us another day or opportunity to share the good news to our applying populace. Rest assured po that we are here to mangangalap ng mga magagaling na employers so that we can give an opportunity for our Filipino workers to have a good employers overseas. Once again, in behalf of Ms. Bell here and IPAMS, thank you very much, Sir Johnny, and we hope to speak to you again next Thursday.
Thank you so much. Si 𝗦𝗶𝗴𝘂𝗀𝗆, ang General Manager, and of course, Ma'am Bel Domingo, ang Employee Relations Manager mula po sa Industrial Personnel and Management Services Incorporated o IPAMS. Sa pangalan po ng IPAMS, sa pangalan ni AJ Austria, salamat po ng marami. Nag-extend tayo ng bahagya. Pasensya na, Idol Jimmy Morato. Ako po si Johnny Gomez, mga kaibigan, para sa SOS Pansamantala. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
you.
Bye-bye.
SOS Serbisyo Ora mismo sigurado. Programang tatalakay sa kapangyarihan ng serbisyo sibil. SOS Serbisyo Ora mismo sigurado. Programang hihimay sa kapangyarihan ng pamalang lokal. SOS Serbisyo Ora mismo sigurado. Programang maglalapit sa pamalan at mamamayan. SOS Serbisyo Ora mismo sigurado. Kikilos ang barangay para sa bayan. Edukasyon, kalusugan, trapiko, basura at iba pa. SOS Serbisyo Ora mismo sigurado. Tatalakay sa mga problemang napapanahon, problemang hahanapan ng solusyon.
The view